What's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we found something going back to our roots. Inexpensive lights. Inexpensive lights. This is an Amazon find. It's under $100. It is a mini moving head. It's interesting. It's very interesting. It's DMXable. It has a remote. It has LEDs. It has a laser. It is under 4 pounds. Did I mention it was 95 bucks? Yes, it is very interesting. So we're gonna take a look at it. I have one here and I'm gonna do what I haven't done in a while, and that is a box opening. So let's get into this box opening real quick. As you can see, we have our little tiny Amazon box right here, and I am just going to crank it on open. And let me tell you, this is a DMXable unit. It is DMXable in 20 or 24 channels. It's very inexpensive, like I said, and you know that already, but what do I love about box openings? A box in a box. Who doesn't love a box in a box? We have red, green, and blue LEDs. We have red, green, and blue, white. We have mixable LEDs. We have very low power, not a lot of power. I think the whole thing consumes maybe 40 watts. And I did do a preliminary test, and I don't think it drew more than 15 watts when I was trying it out. So I'm going to pop this thing open. I got some scissors. It's from a company called OPPSK. It is a pretty good manual. I did read some reviews online saying the manual is kind of hard to follow, but if you do any lights whatsoever, I thought the manual was relatively easy to handle. So this is in the box. You have an IEC cable in the box. You do have the light in the box. And I told you it was small. I told you it was small. Look at that. Okay, and what I didn't mention is it's dual-sided mini moving head. Ready for it, ready for it. Yes, mini moving head. Mini LED. Ooh, there we go, mini LED, moving head. 2 sides. You've got a basically like a derby effect here with multiple colors, red, green, blue, white colors. And then you have a green laser. And this is 3 rings of LEDs. I believe it is 36.2 watt or 0.02 watt, 0.2 watt LEDs. And then you have your kind of derby effect here. But you have a 540 rotating head with a 270 tilt. But since it is dual-sided, you get something everywhere. With that, it does come with a remote control. And the remote control does not come with batteries. No batteries, but you do get a remote control. And as you can see, whoop, upside down, it takes 2 AAA batteries. And the remote control allows you to hit the programs. You got sound active, auto modes. You have a speed change. You have a strobe change. You have a fade possible. I'm not exactly sure what that controls yet. On, off. You can select the colors, red, green, blue, or white. And then you have multiple colors. And then you also have an X and Y right there on the bottom. So you can actually manually pan this or tilt this to where you want it. If you just want to set up on a particular place on the floor or on the wall, you can do that too. So that's pretty neat. It does take 2 AAA batteries. They are not included. Not included. So you do have a mounting bracket and the 2 screws to 2 Allen wrench bolts to affix to the bottom. Yes, so that's what you got. So what else can I say? We have to plug it in and try it. Now granted, like I said, I don't know that it's gonna be for professional use, but it might be fun. And this little moving head, I mean, look at this thing. Look at this, you have your DMX in and out, and the power is right here on the side. And this thing is so small, the 3 cables are almost the same size of it. And your display right here, so you can change everything. This is your IR remote, your infrared remote receiver section, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, you got your all your buttons right here, regular DMX fixture, 20 or 24 channel. And with the 20 or 24 channels, the only difference is that on this ring here, the 3 extra channels, you can actually strobe them individually. But with DMX, you can control ring 1, ring 2, ring 3, laser, laser strobe, and then this and the multiple colors on that, plus pan, tilt, speed, stuff like that. So I happen to have 2 of them. So we're gonna plug them in because you can master and slave them. And we're gonna see what they can do. And then I might, you know what? I'm just gonna put them up on a tree down there. I am going to mount these things on a tree, really tiny, upside down, and we're gonna see what they do, okay? Let's do it. So these things are up on the tree behind me. Full disclosure, had a little issue. The bracket's about this much clearance, my O-clamp's not so little. So a little bolt for the O-clamp, good. So these things are actually up there, dangling a little bit, a couple pieces of gaff tape kind of holding them in place, but they are master slaved. Here's the remote, and here is the on-off switch. And now we have illumination. Let's check them out. So we have this thing brightened up. We're gonna take a closer look. How we're gonna do that? I'm gonna bring you right on over to the lights so you can see what we got going on. So we have the 2 lights hanging up. You see Mr. Slave, and it says auto, but he is in master, and you can see that it is slaved right there. So with the remote control, all right, we're gonna go to a different auto program. Auto 1, this is auto 2. It's creeping, so what we can do is we can change the speed. I'm gonna crank up the speed. We have 1 through 7 on the speed category. I'm gonna crank it all the way up to 7, and the remote is working from here. We're about 25 feet away. And pretty good coverage. I will show it from both angles shortly. We do have more auto programs. I'm gonna go to auto 3. You can see we have that nice kind of derby effect, but in a moving head. Really nice effect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to change this here, and I'm going to XY it so you can see it. So basically, I can change the X and Y axis, and I can rotate them. So I'm gonna rotate it so you see the other side, the laser side. Now it is an auto program, so it will probably pop on in a second, whatever that mode is. But you can see that I am, I'm sorry, I should show you that. But you do have the X and the Y axis, you'll see right here on the bottom. And if I change it Y, you'll see that I can, now you can see those LEDs right there, changing colors. So they kind of go in to out, but they do not put out a lot of light. So it's a nice visual to see from looking at it because it doesn't hurt your eyes at all. It's not very bright, but it really doesn't give off any light. So if your room is dark, it's got to be extremely dark for it to even give a glow. And we can change the X axis, and once you go around it, we'll speed back and start from the beginning of it. So you can see we can rotate them. And once you get all the way to the end, it will kick back like that. But you can, if you wanted to just set it, say I wanted to set it right here and I wanted to flip it so the other thing was on the floor, then go to my Y and I can actually flip it over. Depending on that auto program, they'll kick back on in a second, but I could put them right down on the ground if I wanted to. And then you'll see that now I have this coverage here. Back it on up, back it on up. And I do have one light on in the room, and that's the one above my head, and a camera light. So this is cool. I'm gonna go back into auto mode just so you can see what's going on. This is great for a small space. This is really cool for a small space. So it's on sound sensitivity 99. So when you find the right sensitivity spot, it does work okay, but between 1 and 99 doesn't seem to make a big difference. But what do you think? Let's, I'm gonna put some haze in the room and just take a couple different camera angles for you guys. Well, there you have it, the OPPSK 40-watt dual-sided moving head fixtures. These are pretty cool units at 95 bucks. You can use them for a lot of different things. Can you use them for weddings? Yeah, you could, but most people don't want the dots for the photographer's sake, and they don't want pictures with little LEDs or little spots on people, which makes perfectly good sense. But for any small parties, small venues, you know, if you want to just do the dance floor area and you've got a small room, these are going to be perfect for you. So worth checking out if you like these types of lights, because it's a pretty cool little light. So check them out, links below. My name's Chris, hope you like this review.